Welcome back to the Global Business Report on Arise News. Nigeria's bid to float a new national air carrier appears to have been delayed further, with credible investors and technical partners allegedly reluctant to warm up to the high-end venture. The development following the completion of the bid process is another drawback for the July 2022 takeoff, as well as nurturing the airline to stability before the end of this administration. It's been the fifth time now that the national project has aborted the crucial takeoff. Excuse the pun. United Arab Emirates flag carrier operating in Nigeria has announced a reinstatement of its flight operations to Nigeria. The airline had earlier announced suspension of flight operations from the country from today, September the 1st, following its inability to repatriate what it said was over $85 million of its ticket sales. But in response to development, the federal government, through the Central Bank of Nigeria, released part of the outstanding ticket sales to the airline. Joining us from our Abuja studios, Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu, who's always flying all over the place. Chika, good morning to you. Good to have you with us. And we're talking aviation again, Chika. Nigeria Air or Emirates? Where would you like to begin?
Well, let's talk about Emirates. I mean, Professor Obioha, the MD of United Nigeria, said they were going to go nowhere. Okay, they went somewhere for one day or 1 week. And they got their money, and they're coming back again. And a big lesson. We'll thank the CBN, despite the challenges in the land. As I said the other day in the program, everybody's crying up for FX. And nobody has, the National Assembly or other people didn't raise the red flag when the manufacturers have been crying. Even domestic airlines have been crying, because they couldn't go to FX to buy their spares or pay their leases. But the international airlines, cried louder, and the CBN has responded. And Emirates that pulled out his flight for September 1, said they'll come back in September 11th. But for me, one major issue that I'm going to actually pick on is, you do recall that as a consequence of this, the funds that are not remitted, most of the airlines pushed their tickets to the highest limits. And most of the tickets were priced in Nigerian exchange rates of to the dollar at almost 700. And they're getting CBN dollar now at 420 or thereabout. We're hoping, I'm going to check it, that the cheaper fare rates have been reinstated as Emirates has come back, because it will not be fair to Nigerians that you're getting this foreign exchange at central bank rate of 420, and then you're marking your tickets up there at 700 naira to the dollar. 700 naira to the dollar. That will not be fair and acceptable to the Nigerians. So we're going to check that and hold them accountable, and hope that subsequently, as CBN said, that nobody's dollars is being held down in Nigeria or stuck in Nigeria. They just want to have an ordered, structure for remittances from the country because of the paucity of the foreign exchange position, the reserves of the country. And so whatever they have, they want to make sure that it goes around to all the sectors of the economy, not just giving it to one sector. But that's Emirates. We're happy that they said that from September 11 they will continue again. So just still on aviation, I hope that, I don't know whether I have any other question on that, but just still on aviation. Nigerian Air, where do we start? The interesting thing is, I don't know the day, this will be a referendum on Alhaji Sirika, on his tenure as the Minister for Aviation. You do recall, during the first tenure of the President Buhari, he was a Minister of State on Aviation under Transport Ministry. But in the second term, it was Ministry of Aviation was pulled out, and he was totally empowered to run his agenda. He had a 5-part agenda. First one was to make sure we have the national carrier. Second one was to lease out all the international airports. then establish an airline leasing company, maintenance of facilities, and then finally establish an aerotropolis. Sadly, the countdown is here. We have about 9 months to the end of this administration, and we can't point to any of these 5 items being achieved. But focusing on Nigerian Air, launched with all the pomp and pageantry, I think this 2018. This is the 5th time we have missed 5 deadlines for its commencement. Not surprising because of the issues that confront the bat of that this project. Even though, as we've learned, a lot of money already has been running into billions of naira, has been sent on this project, but we're still waiting for the fruition of the project. A lot of issues have been raised, and I've been hoping that they will try to clear them. So I will not punch them so much. And the first one is that this project has been, there's been lack of transparency in the way this project has been handled, and they have not been very open in letting us know who are their partners, the bidding process, and so on and so forth. But the environment has not been right for this airline to bet. Let me start from the fact that the aviation industry worldwide has been suffered from, was the first one that was cannibalized, butchered by the COVID problems. Aviation was, I think, the one that suffered a lot. And so the world aviation is still trying to survive, come out from that slump. And then that's the environment. A lot of the airlines that would have come to be technical partners to Nigerian Air are also struggling in their home countries. At least if you count the names that we would expect to have in this country to partner with us, most of them are all struggling in their home countries, still making losses in their home countries. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that you're trying to push a project at the countdown to the tenure of the administration in the third world country. And in most of the third world countries, including Nigeria, government sees it to be a continuum. And from the things we've heard, from the way they've run this project, a lot of the candidates who are contesting for election believe that they may not continue with it. And so any investor coming in here now will say, please, wait a minute. Let me just wait for the election to finish. So it's difficult to find a foreign technical partner, an investor, to come into the country now and invest in this airline at this late time of the administration. So it's very difficult. The other thing also is that even the things they are pushed out. You want to do a national carrier, with 3 wet lease aircraft that will come with the foreign pilots and foreign crew. And the major objectives of establishing national airline, which include, creating employment for the country, expanding the asset base of aviation in Nigeria, all of them will be defeated. And so that's why we talked about the fact that the way they have run this project has not been very transparent and has not been open for people to make contributions. And I'd be surprised. The last deadline was July. I'd be surprised if anything will happen between now and May 29 when this government will hand over to the next administration.
Thanks, Chika. Just about a minute to go. We move from aviation to banking. I wanted to get your thoughts on Fidelity Bank acquiring Union Bank UK.
Yes. Fidelity, a good one for Fidelity Bank. Fidelity Bank, a Tier 2 bank. They have a strategy in 2025 to move into the top Taiwan group. Maybe when they come in, the Taiwan group, Nigeria, they will call them Fugas, using the first names of the banks. So maybe when Fidelity joins them, there'll be 6 of them now. We'll have to change that Fugas to something. But Union Bank has been in London since 1983. First Bank was the first Nigerian bank that was there in 1982, I think. And then the other Nigerian banks have been there. A good license they have, but you see, Union Bank has been like dormant for some time now, making losses. But Fidelity Bank, Nigerian banks, we have the energy, we have the aggression, we have the persistence. I'm sure when they go in there, they will turn it around. But Fidelity Bank has had the international banking license for some time. Nigeria, your capital adequacy is measured on the 15% if you have international banking license. If national banking license is at 10%. So they've had that for some time. So this is the first attempt to use that license. And from what I hear, there are many more to come for them with their new MD, the Amazon of banking now. And we hope that they'll get it right and create more employment for Nigerians, and then do diaspora banking and attract more investment into our country. So we wish them well. I'm sure they'll get it right.
Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.